Today's video has been a long one coming, and it's all about Lionel Johnson getting re-involved in the current 40k narrative, or should I say, the lack of involvement in the current 40k narrative. There's so many questions out there from a lot of people asking what the Lion is up to at the moment. What is he going to? Is he ever going to meet Guilliman? In this video, I just want to explore maybe possible options that we can go down to, and also discuss if the developers at Games Workshop may have made a mistake bringing the Lion back because they literally don't know what to do with that character. So let's jump in and let's get waffling. Now, if you haven't really been following the narrative, the Lion has returned into the current setting, and he kind of did get involved towards the back end of 9th edition. When he awoke, he actually went and picked up some of the fallen Marines who are now called the Risen and are now working as the Inner Circle companions on the tabletop if you've got those models. He has been involved in fighting some of the Tyranids. That was also mentioned in the Dark Angel Codex. He actually did fight against a splinter fleet of the Tyranids, and the big thing which ended it, and we've all been asking the questions ever since, is the Arks of Omen. At the end of the Arks of Omen, the Lion went back to the Rock. He revealed himself to his sons. He fought against Vashtor and Angron. He beat Angron in a duel by caving Angron's face in with his shield. Then he went back to the Rock after Vashtor got the device he wanted, and that was basically the end of it. That is where we are now. That's where we're left off now. And then we jumped into 10th edition, and a lot of people, myself included, were hoping that the Lion would maybe take a more center stage approach and he would meet Guilliman, get involved more in the Imperium, but none of that has happened. The only real narrative sense that we've got going forward with the Lion is that Kotias, who has now got a new model and the Agents of the Imperium, which doesn't really mention the Lion at all, he was activating all his agents because he was hearing rumors of the Lion's return. The Lion's return has spread through the Dark Angel ranks because they're all talking about it. Messages were sent out like their Primarch has returned, so the Unforgiven do know of his return. But as far as the wider Imperium, the broader Imperium, we just don't know. I am convinced, absolutely 110% convinced, that Guilliman must know about the Lion's return, or he's heard something about maybe another Loyalist Primarch returning. Maybe he doesn't know it's the Lion, because the Imperium, sorry, not the Imperium, Guilliman has agents everywhere. Historiators, he's got crusade fleets spreading across the galaxy trying to take back lost ground and stuff, and for someone in his position not to have heard news of a Loyalist Primarch returning is a bit, I don't know, it's a bit on the nose. It doesn't make sense to me. But I think what the problem is the actual writers and the narrative, like where they want to take the Lion, because maybe, just maybe, like bringing the Lion back has caused more problems for them than they foreseen. Now, what I mean by this is when you bring back Primarchs, especially traitor Primarchs, it's very easy to fit those characters into the main narrative of what you're trying to tell, because a traitor Primarch's basically mission is to cause as much devastation to the Imperium as possible. They pop up, they take over worlds, they destroy worlds, they fight against Space Marines, they fight against the Imperial Guard, Custodes, etc, etc. They do whatever they want to do. We've already seen that when it comes to Mortarion, Magnus, and Angron. They literally popped up, caused a bunch of drama, devastation, and then just gone away again. But when you have a Loyalist Primarch returning, that is a big difference. For example, when Guilliman's return happened, we had this entire lore of Guilliman refitting himself back into what the Imperium is right now. He's de facto the leader of the Imperium, but that's come with great cost. There's a lot of people that don't like that. It has affected the political and the divine narrative as well when it comes to Warhammer 40,000. People see Guilliman as the son of a god now because, of course, the God Emperor, and he's building up where you can argue that faith is his new weapon to fight against chaos, because everyone who's praying to him and seeing him as this son of a god. But the point I'm trying to make is when you have a Loyalist Primarch coming back, it takes a lot of story to put them back into that narrative. And with the Lion's return, I'm wondering, are the writers struggling to really put a point on where he's going to fit back into the story, because if you look at it now, he's just literally forest walking everywhere, popping up, taking over worlds that were more or less ruined by chaos and reuniting the populace, and then they're fighting back, and then they're viewing the Lion as this like brand new savior and stuff like that. But that, I don't think that's a strong enough narrative for the Lion at the moment. Like, the thing that we all want, everyone I think wants this, who is a Imperium fan, a Space Marine fan, is the Lion and Guilliman to meet up, right? That would be an absolutely magical, amazing scene. Just imagine, right? 10,000 years, two Loyalist Primarchs, they haven't met, the Imperium in the state it's in right now, and then those two brothers meet, and you just have that slight little bit of hope. I know hope is the first step to many things, more or less despair in 40k, but you have that little twinkle then that maybe there is a possibility of going forward, and the Imperium maybe, just maybe, does have that chance. But if they do meet, and Guilliman sees the Lion, then how's Guilliman going to shoehorn the Lion into it? Is he basically just going to say, okay, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to do all the paperwork as we did back in the old days in the Imperium Secundus, you're going to be the Blade, you're going to go out there, you're going to lead the Crusade fleets, because that does make sense, because the Lion did have a massive record during the Great Crusade of leading fleets and taking over planets and introducing the Imperial truth. So I can kind of see if they do that, but I just don't think they want to do that with the Lion at this point. And I think that's why we're seeing such a gap in the Lion's return, and nothing's being mentioned about it. Well, to be fair, when it comes to 10th edition, and we've spoken about this so many times, the narrative really hasn't been spoken about that much. We had it at the start with the Segmentum Pacificus being invaded by the Tyranids. It was the biggest Xenos invasion ever, the 4th Tyrannic War. We got a little bit of story at the start, and ever since then, it's been quiet. We've jumped back to the Prior Nexus a little bit. Apparently, Vashtor's there, Guilliman's going there, the Silent King is there. Yeah, you know, some of the big characters are actually just turning up there, but apart from that, absolutely nothing has been discussed. And I'm wondering now, are they struggling where they got to put the next step forward in the narrative? Personally, for me, I would like it to go this way. I would love the Lion and Guilliman to be reunited. I would love them then to say, okay, Lion, can you focus on the northern parts of the Imperium with Dante, like the Angels reunited, the Lion and Dante, because they've already worked together, they already know what each other is capable of. The Lion has great respect for Dante, etc. And Guilliman then can focus his forces and his fleets in the southern bit. And you could probably argue, maybe I'm saying this wrong, it's kind of like the Holy Roman Empire then, where you have two empires divided by this chaos line, and they're trying to drive chaos back in to the Great Rift, one from the south, one from the north, each fighting, each helping each other and assisting each other where they can. That way we can have like the Dark Angels becoming like kind of a flagship chapter then in the north, along with the Blood Angels, and in the south you can have like the Space Wolves and the Ultramarines coming more of a flagship, dealing with not just chaos but of course the ever presence of the Orc threat that is about to happen as well. I think that could be a very, very cool narrative to go down, but of course it's completely down to the developers and how they see it and how they want to do it. I'm sure there's so many ideas of a lot of people. I'm sure people will be posting in the comment section how would they like it to go forward. I would hope that you would post in the comment section how you would like it to go forward. But for now, I think we just have to sit on our hands and wait to see what the developers are doing. Hopefully we do get another Lion book, and in that book it explores more of his plans and what he wants to do. Does he want to meet Guilliman? Again, he knows Guilliman exists. He knows that. Dante told him. So is he searching for his brother now? Is he going to be going out looking actively for Guilliman to reunite with him? These are the big questions that we all want answered about the Lion and, of course, the sons, the Dark Angels, and all the successors of the Dark Angels, the Unforgiven. Because for me, they're more or less a Legion reunited now, in all but name. That is what they are. They're all working actively together under the banner of the Lion, fighting the forces of the Xenos, Chaos, Mutants, Heretics, everything like that, in the Imperium's name. Anyway, Chaperonios, I'll leave that waffle right there for you. Yes, hopefully we'll see more stuff with the Lion soon. We do have a preview show this Friday. Maybe they're going to put a new campaign book out there for 40k. Maybe they're going to talk about Primarchs more. I highly doubt it, but hopefully, fingers crossed, going into next year, 2025, for Warhammer 40,000, we'll be seeing a lot more campaigns, narrative stuff that are going to involve these big characters, and hopefully we'll get the story that we all want to see. If you've got any thoughts and feedback, anything like that, post it down below, and we can have a nice little chin wag down there, as we always do. See ya, have a great day, and bye-bye.